Your hustle is louder than their envy. Keep going. Sometimes the best thing you can do is let your work speak for itself. When you wake up each morning with fire in your heart and a vision in your mind, the world might not notice right away. But slowly, quietly, your progress starts to make noise. Not the kind of noise that demands attention, but the kind that shifts energy. People begin to feel your presence. They see your growth. And sadly, some can't handle it. It's not because you did something wrong. It's because you dared to do something different. You chose to rise even when it would be easier to stay still. There will always be voices, some loud, some subtle, whispering behind your back, questioning your worth, your journey, your right to succeed. And often those voices come from people who haven't seen the nights you cried, the doors that slammed in your face, the battles you fought silently while still showing up with a smile. But here's the truth. They don't need to see it. Because you don't hustle to be seen. You hustle to become. Envy is not a reflection of your success being wrong. It's a sign that you're doing something right. When people feel threatened by your growth, it often has little to do with you and everything to do with the mirror you hold up to their own lives. Your dedication makes them question their excuses. Your progress makes them confront their own procrastination. That discomfort becomes jealousy, masked as criticism or distance. But let it be. Let them talk. Let them misunderstand. Let them distance themselves. You were not created to shrink in the face of envy. You were created to expand despite it. And that expansion, your grind, your late nights, your resilience, it speaks volumes. The sound of your consistency will always be louder than their whispers. That's why you must keep going. Not to prove them wrong, but to prove yourself right. Because the ones who criticize your journey don't know the weight you've been carrying. And truthfully, some people are not mad at your success. They're mad that you kept going when they gave up. It's a lonely road sometimes. The hustle demands solitude, and growth often leads you away from the familiar. But in that quiet, in that stillness where others see nothing happening, something powerful is building inside you. Every sacrifice you make, every hour you put in, it compounds. And one day the results show up unapologetically. That's when the whispers grow louder, not because you've changed, but because you didn't stop. When they become jealous of your success, don't internalize it. Don't shrink. Don't dim your light just to make others feel better in their darkness. Stay grounded, stay kind, stay focused. Your only job is to keep moving, keep building, keep becoming. Because the only competition you should ever have is the version of yourself that won't settle for less. They'll say you changed, but they won't mention how hard you worked. They'll say you got lucky, but they won't acknowledge the years you struggled. Let them say what they want. You have no obligation to correct their narrative. Just keep showing up. Your results will do the talking. Your peace, your progress, your presence, they will all speak for you. So if you feel misunderstood, if you feel the distance growing between you and the ones you thought would cheer you on, let it happen. Because the ones who are meant to walk with you, they won't feel threatened by your growth. They'll be inspired by it. And as for the rest, let your hustle be the loudest thing they hear. Keep going. You're not just chasing success. You're just becoming it. Success reveals who's truly in your corner. It's incredible how quickly success can reveal the truth about the people around you. When you're struggling, when you're grinding in the background, it's easy for people to show support. It's almost expected, right? They say things like, I believe in you, or you've got this, when the journey is still in its early stages, when the results haven't yet arrived. But the moment you start to succeed, that's when the real tests begin. That's when the true nature of your relationships reveals itself. The truth is, not everyone is going to celebrate your success. In fact, some people may actually start pulling away from you. You'll notice a shift, a subtle coolness, a change in tone, or even silence where there used to be encouragement. It's easy to be supportive when you're both stuck in the same boat, paddling together. But when you begin to sail toward your dreams, there's a chance others will feel like they're left behind. That's where success uncovers the real loyalties, the true friendships, and sometimes the hidden insecurities. Some people, instead of celebrating your success, will find a way to downplay it. They'll make excuses for why you shouldn't have succeeded, or find a flaw in every achievement you've made. They won't see the long nights, the sacrifices, or the tough decisions you had to make along the way. Instead, they'll focus on the small things, anything to minimize your journey and make it seem like you did. This isn't about you. It's about their inability to process someone else's growth because it reflects something they haven't yet been able to achieve for themselves. And in that discomfort, they may choose to distance themselves or even tear you down. But there's also a different kind of person. These are the people who, when you begin to rise, will rise with you. They won't feel threatened by your success because they've always seen your potential. They've always been there for you, not because they expected something in return, but because they believe in you, not just when it's easy, but when it's hard too. These are the people who won't only congratulate you when you reach the top, they'll stand beside you during every single step of the climb. And the moment you succeed, they'll be there genuinely happy for you because they've never been afraid of your light. In fact, they've always wanted to see you shine. Success is a filter, and while it will reveal who has been true to you from the start, it will also show you who was only with you for the ride, for the comfort, for the companionship when things were easy. You have to let this truth sink in. You have to accept that not everyone you thought was on your side will stay there as you grow. It's a tough pill to swallow, especially when it's someone you've shared your dreams with or who you thought would always be there. But in reality, growth requires a certain level of space, a shift in dynamics, and not everyone can handle that. However, here's where you find your peace. The people who truly want to see you succeed, the ones who are unafraid to watch you soar, will never feel threatened by your progress. They will be the ones who cheer the loudest, who encourage you in ways that only true friends can, and who are just as invested in your success as you are. They don't see your achievements as something that takes away from their own. They see it as proof that greatness is possible. And when you find those people, treasure them. They are rare. It's not easy to face the truth that some people can't handle your success. It stings to feel the shift in your relationships, but it's important to remember your success was never dependent on anyone else's approval. It's about your journey, your dreams, and your willingness to keep pushing forward, no matter who stays or who goes. And in the end, the people who are meant to be in your life will stick around, not because of what you can give them, but because they truly care about you and your journey. So when success begins to reveal who's really in your corner, don't be discouraged. Let it be a lesson in authenticity. Let it teach you that your value is not determined by who chooses to walk away, but by who chooses to stay, support, and celebrate with you every step of the way. Jealousy is a reflection of their limitations, not yours. When you start climbing, when you start breaking barriers and achieving the things you once thought were impossible, jealousy often rears its ugly head. It can show up in the most unexpected places. From people you thought would be your biggest supporters to those who have always been close to you. At first, it can be shocking to see how some people react to your success. Instead of celebrating your victories, they may become distant, critical, or even openly resentful. And in those moments, it's important to remember one fundamental truth. Their jealousy is a direct reflection of their own limitations, not your achievements. You see, jealousy isn't really about you. It's never been about you. It's about them. It's about their own struggles with self-worth, their own fear of failure, and their own inability to see how your success could be their inspiration rather than their competition. When someone looks at your accomplishments and feels envy, what they're really doing is measuring themselves against you. They're not just admiring your work, they're comparing their own progress or lack thereof to yours. And in that comparison, they feel inadequate. The reality is, jealousy stems from a fear of not being enough, a fear that someone else's success will make them appear less successful. But here's the thing. The success of others is never an indication of your own failure. It's not a reflection of your worth or your ability. It's simply the result of someone else's journey. Your path is yours to walk and theirs is theirs. When someone reacts to your success with jealousy, they're showing you that they haven't yet learned that lesson. Now, it's easy to internalize this. It's easy to think that maybe you've done something wrong or that you're somehow responsible for how others feel. But you can't control how others respond to your success. You can't stop them from feeling threatened or insecure, just as you can't make them believe in their own potential. What you can control, however, is how you react to them. You can choose not to let their jealousy affect you. You can choose to keep your focus on your own journey, knowing that their limitations do not define yours. Jealousy is also a reflection of the lack of abundance in someone's mindset. People with a mindset of scarcity believe there's only so much success to go around, that if you win, they lose. They struggle to see that success isn't finite, it's infinite. There's room for everyone to thrive. But when someone is stuck in a mindset of scarcity, your success can feel like a personal threat. They don't see that your achievements don't diminish theirs. In fact, your success could be the very thing that inspires them to push forward, but instead of being inspired, they let envy consume them. It's crucial to recognize that the only limitation in your life is the one you impose on yourself. When you begin to outgrow those limitations, some people may be unable to join you on that journey, and that's where the jealousy begins. They've chosen to stay in a space of fear, doubt, and insecurity. And when they see you breaking free, they can't help but reflect on all the reasons they haven't done the same. This isn't about your actions. It's about their inability to believe in their own. But you don't owe them an explanation. You don't need to change your path to make them feel better. Their jealousy is not your burden to carry. Let it serve as a reminder that your growth challenges the status quo, and not everyone is ready to accept that. Some people will react to your success with admiration and joy, but others will react with resentment. That's their choice, not yours. Don't take it personally. Their jealousy is a sign that they are struggling with their own journey, not a reflection of anything you've done wrong. Instead of letting their envy hold you back, let it fuel your determination. Their jealousy is proof that you are doing something significant. It's a sign that you're making an impact, that your growth is noticeable. So when jealousy comes your way, don't take a step back. Keep climbing. Keep proving to yourself that you are capable of achieving more than you ever imagined. In the end, jealousy is not a reflection of your success. It's a reflection of their own limitations. And the most empowering thing you can do is not shrink or dim your light to make others feel better. The most empowering thing you can do is keep shining, keep striving, and keep achieving, because the only limitation that matters is the one you set for yourself. And no one, no matter how jealous, can take that away from you. You don't need applause to validate your grind. In a world where everyone seems to be looking for external validation, it's easy to believe that our worth, our success, and our efforts are only meaningful if someone else recognizes them. We seek the applause, the likes, the affirmations that we're on the right track. But the truth is, the most powerful form of validation doesn't come from the crowd. It comes from within. The hustle is rarely glamorous. It's often a quiet, solitary thing. A pursuit that requires discipline, focus, and consistency long before the results show up. In the early stages, there's no audience, no one to cheer you on when you stay up late working or sacrifice weekends to build something that may not even seem impressive to others. At times, you might even question yourself. Am I doing the right thing? Does anyone even notice? But here's where you need to dig deep and remind yourself that you don't need external applause to validate your grind. Your dedication is enough, even when no one is watching. It's easy to get discouraged when you're putting in the work and it feels like you're doing it all alone. The world is busy and most people are caught up in their own battles and successes. They may not always see your efforts or understand the sacrifices you're making. And while that can sting at times, it's important to realize that their lack of acknowledgement doesn't lessen the value of what you're doing. You don't need their approval because your hustle is not about impressing them, it's about impressing yourself. It's about showing up for yourself when no one else is watching and pushing through when the path is difficult and uncertain. True success doesn't happen overnight, and the recognition doesn't always come immediately. In fact, it often takes years of unseen hard work before anyone truly acknowledges what you've built. The quiet moments of effort, the small decisions, the little wins that no one else sees, these are the pieces of your journey that are shaping your future. And while the world may not see them now, one day when the results finally speak for themselves, people will look back and marvel at what you accomplished. But by then, you will already know that the real reward was never the applause. It was the fulfillment of staying committed, even when no one was cheering. The desire for external validation is natural, but it can be crippling if you rely on it to determine your worth. Do you wait for others to recognize your hustle before you give yourself credit? You'll be stuck in a cycle of doubt. Waiting for applause can make you lose sight of the progress you're making right now. You might spend more time hoping for praise than actually doing the work that will get you to the next level. But when you find validation within yourself, when you realize that every step forward, no matter how small, is worth celebrating, you begin to unlock the true power of your grind. In the moments when no one is cheering, when the world seems quiet, remind yourself of why you started. You are not doing this for the applause. You are doing it because you believe in yourself and your dreams. You're building something that aligns with your vision, your values, and your purpose. And no one can take that away from you. The grind is not about being seen. It's about becoming the person you were always meant to be. It's about growing, learning, and evolving into someone who can handle success when it comes. But if you only focus on the external rewards, the likes, the comments, the applause, you miss the point. The real growth happens in the quiet moments, the struggles, the times when you're pushing forward without any recognition, when you can validate yourself, when you can keep going because you believe in the value of your work, you unlock a power that no external validation can give you. So don't wait for others to tell you that you're on the right track. You already know it. Don't look for applause, because the truth is, you're building something that's worth far more than temporary recognition. Keep grinding, keep working, and keep believing in yourself, because the most important applause you'll ever receive is the one that comes from the inside, and that's the only validation you'll ever truly need. Let that doubt fuel your discipline. Doubt is an inevitable part of the journey towards success. It's one of the most common emotions we face as we work toward our goals. The voices of uncertainty, both internal and external, can sometimes feel like they're drowning out everything else. But here's something that you must learn to embrace. Doubt doesn't have to paralyze you. It doesn't have to be a roadblock. It can be the fuel you need to propel yourself forward. When you start to make strides, when you start to see growth, there will always be those who question your abilities. They will doubt your plans, your vision, and your potential. And while it can be difficult to hear, it's important to understand that their doubt isn't a reflection of your capabilities, it's a reflection of their own limitations. People who are insecure, who are afraid to take risks themselves, will often project their fears onto you. They may doubt you because they have never had the courage to chase their own dreams. Instead of motivating you, they will try to stop you. But instead of letting that negativity discourage you, use it as fuel. Let their doubt become your discipline. The more someone questions your abilities, the more you should double down on your efforts. Their skepticism is just noise. Noise that, if you allow it, can either drown you out or drive you to prove them wrong. When someone doubts you, don't take it personally. Don't let their lack of belief stop you from moving forward. Instead, use their doubt as motivation to push harder, to show them that you are more than capable of achieving what they said you couldn't. Doubt can often be a sign that you're on the right track. People don't doubt you when you're standing still. They doubt you when you're moving, when you're striving, when you're doing things they can't imagine for themselves. It's your growth, your ambition, and your courage to keep going that triggers their doubt in the first place. It's a sign that you're breaking barriers, and sometimes the people who don't understand your journey will try to pull you back to the place where they feel safe. They'll try to make you question your own path, your own dreams, because they're afraid to see you succeed. But the key is to never let their fear become yours. Instead, let their doubt become the reason you work harder. When someone tells you that you can't do something, show them the exact opposite. When they say it's impossible, make it possible. Every time you face someone's doubt, let it be a reminder that you're pushing boundaries, that you're refusing to settle for the ordinary. Every "you can't" is an opportunity for you to turn it into a "watch me." The more people doubt you, the more driven you should become. But there's something even more powerful that comes with doubt. It's the way it forces you to build discipline. Discipline is not about motivation. It's about doing what you need to do even when you don't feel like doing it. And that's what doubt can teach you. When someone doubts you, it forces you to get up every day and prove to yourself that you're capable. You stop waiting for permission. You stop waiting for others to believe in you. You take control of your journey and you show up for yourself even when no one else does. It's the moments when no one is watching, when no one is cheering you on, that your discipline will shine through. You learn to do the work even when the doubt is heavy, because you know deep down that the result is worth the effort. Doubt will always be a part of the process, but the key to overcoming it is not in denying it. It's in using it to fuel your progress. Instead of letting the doubt slow you down or make you second-guess your decisions, let it be the reason you keep going. Use it to stay focused on your goals. Let it sharpen your resolve and strengthen your commitment. Because when you can rise above the doubt, when you can prove to yourself that you can achieve what others didn't believe was possible, that's when you truly unlock your potential. So let their doubt fuel your discipline. Let it remind you that every obstacle, every naysayer, every negative thought is just a challenge that you are capable of overcoming. And every time you move past it, you move one step closer to the success that only you can define. Let their doubt be the spark, and let your discipline be the fire that carries you to your goals. Let their doubt fuel your discipline. When you embark on the journey of success, doubt will always follow, both from within yourself and from others. There's an unfortunate reality that when you start making strides and succeeding, some people will feel threatened by your progress. It's not because they want to see you fail, but because your success often highlights their own insecurities and fears. The doubts they project onto you can be overwhelming. At times, they may not understand your vision, or they may question whether you have what it takes. But rather than letting that doubt hold you back or make you feel discouraged, you can choose to use it as a powerful force that propels you forward. The first step in shifting your perspective is realizing that their doubt is not about you. It's about them. When someone questions your potential, what they're really revealing is their own inability to imagine themselves achieving what you're striving for. Their doubt isn't a reflection of your worth or capability. It's simply a limitation in their own thinking. Their fear of failure or their inability to see beyond their own circumstances can cloud their judgment. They project that onto you because they can't fathom what's possible outside of their own limitations. And that's okay. It's not your job to convince everyone around you of your potential. The only person whose belief matters is your own. Now, this doesn't mean you won't feel the sting of their doubt. When people close to you question your dreams or your ability to achieve them, it can be painful. It can shake your confidence and make you wonder if you're doing the right thing. But this is where the power of discipline comes into play. Instead of letting their doubt make you question your worth, let it fuel your determination. Let their skepticism push you to work harder, to prove that you are capable of achieving what you've set out to do, regardless of what others think. Every time someone doubts you, view it as a challenge to rise higher, to show them and yourself that you are unstoppable. Discipline isn't about avoiding the hard work or the sacrifice. It's about deciding to show up every single day, even when it feels like the world is against you. It's about continuing to push forward when others may doubt your path. When you face doubt, whether from others or your inner voice, the key is not to shrink or retreat. Instead, it's to dig deeper into your resolve. Doubt is a signal that you're onto something bigger, that you're doing something that matters enough to challenge the status quo. The more you face it and continue to push forward, the stronger your discipline becomes. The people who doubt you will likely never see the work you're putting in behind the scenes. They don't see the early mornings, the long nights, the sacrifices you're making to turn your vision into reality. But you know that those moments of unseen effort are the building blocks of your success. Use their doubt to remind yourself that the grind you're putting in now will pay off later. You don't need their approval to continue moving forward. You don't need their applause or recognition at this moment. What you need is your own belief in your journey, your own discipline to continue even when the road is tough, and your own focus on the end result. The more you stay disciplined in the face of doubt, the more you start to realize that their opinions and judgments no longer matter. You become less concerned with seeking validation from others and more focused on doing the work required to make your dreams a reality. This shift is incredibly powerful because it means you are no longer relying on external circumstances to dictate your actions. Instead, you are taking control and deciding for yourself what you're capable of. So when doubt comes your way, whether from others or from within yourself, don't let it stop you. Use it as fuel for your discipline. Let it remind you that you are doing something significant. Let it show you that you are growing, pushing boundaries, and challenging the limits that others have placed on themselves. As you continue to work hard day after day, you will find that your belief in yourself grows stronger. The discipline you